Is Mike Brown the guy that can take the Knicks over the hump and finally take them to the promised land? Let's talk about the Knicks' new head coaching hire and the high expectations that come with the job with our New York Post sports columnist, Mike Vaccaro. Mike, thanks for hopping on with us. They finally have a coach. They got a draft pick, added some guys in free agency. Now they have a coach. They interviewed Mike Brown the last time the job was open, but they ultimately gave that job to Tibbs. He's coached in over 750 regular season games, has a 60% winning percentage, coached some NBA greats, and he's won 2 NBA Coach of the Year awards, but he's never won a title as a head coach. So great choice, safe choice, or the only choice for the Knicks?
Look, I'll say it's a smart choice. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people when they look and they realize that he's won 60% of his games. And that's more than all but 30 coaches who have ever coached the NBA. And sure, he coached LeBron James on some of those teams, but he was the first guy to actually teach LeBron how to win. And he won a lot of games with the Sacramento Kings. Not a lot of coaches can say they did that. This is obviously a very good coach. Is he an upgrade from Tom Thibodeau? Look, we'll find that out. But it's certainly not a terrible hire. I think it's going to work well. He works well with veterans, assuming that the bulk of the Knicks team that we see now is the one he's going to be coaching. I think he's a good choice for it. I do. But look, you can't say he doesn't know what the expectations are. I mean, the Knicks made it very clear on the day they fired Tom Thibodeau. They expect to compete for a championship, and with the way the Eastern Conference is situated now, there's no reason why they shouldn't compete for a championship. But the thing that's going to be out there all next year is that the Knicks got to Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and any kind of regression is going to be noted.
They've also added some depth to the roster in free agency, and you mentioned how the Eastern Conference looks like it's wide open because of the injuries to Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. So that expectations on Brown and on this team is at an all-time high. So is it safe to say that it's NBA Finals or bust for Brown in his first season? And if not, how long or how open is his window to take this team to the finals?
Look, I mean, I think we'll say that in the next 2 years, that's a reasonable expectation. Next year might be the best time to get there, just because of the way the rest of the conference looks. So sure, and look, there's no reason why the Knicks shouldn't enter next year, feeling that that's the expectation to get at least to the finals. And look, they made a coaching change for a reason. They thought they plateaued under Tom Thibodeau, and they wanted to find a guy who's going to be able to take it to the next bridge. And look, if Mike Brown can't do that, then he's going to answer for that. But I mean, he's a guy who's been to the finals. He's a guy who's won a lot of games. He's a guy who knows how to coach stars. It makes a lot of sense. The more you look at it, the more it makes sense, especially when you consider that they couldn't hire a lot of the guys that they were interested in who already have jobs. And of the remaining cast of characters, I think he was the best choice.
Yeah, a lot of people are saluting Leon Rose in the front office, not just for the coaching hire, but just for the offseason that they're having as a whole. Mike, thanks for hopping on with us.
Anytime, Brandon. Good talking to you.